this particular workshop was couched strengthening the capacity of research officials and those in the data management department on data visualization. Some training had been provided in the past, but this was to provide a refresher to enable these key staff to understand how to interpret, first assess, analyze and interpret data from existing data sources, particularly those data sources that have become available from the work that Ghana Statistical Service has done over the years, the census, the annual household surveys they've done, the Stats Bank, and also the data on the multidimensional poverty indicators.
So basically what we did was to take them through basics and advanced Excel tools, and also to walk them through the statistics bank that was developed by the Ghana Statistical Service, where this staff or personnel can use to generate data that will be very essential for their work. So as part of the training, we took them as well through some visualization tools, among which include Canva, Data Wrapper, which as well would help them to be able to come up with interactive and visuals that would communicate the message that they really need in helping them advance in their work.
We really had very high expectations of this workshop because, again, the mode of the workshop was different. We identified some few data champions, in other words, people in Parliament that had some knowledge, skill and expertise in data management analysis. And so we identified these few people, brought them into this space over the last 2 days, gave them some basic training in Excel, in data analysis, data management, and then on top of it all, provided some refresher on data visualization using some tools such as Canva, Data Wrapper, amongst others.
Prior to coming to this workshop, I think we had wanted to learn more about infographics and also to understand how we can visualize some of the data that we gather for members of parliament, because we've realized that a lot of members of parliament now come to the research department to ask for data. So how best can we visualize the data that we give to them so that they'll be able to use it in their works? So prior to coming to this place, we wanted to learn more of how we can visualize some of the data and also do infographics for members of parliament to use in their work, because they don't have time to present long information on the floor of parliament. So if we're able to visualize the data they request into infographics, it will help them to, in their debates and also in committee works and all the policy works that they do on the floor of parliament.
Now, the workshop has been very helpful. The workshop touched on Excel, as well as how to use the data wrapper to generate meaningful 3D charts, as well as how to create infographics with the canvas. I must say that it was helpful and it has impacted on the knowledge. As a data management officer, it's going to help me in my area of work, because as we generate data, we need to communicate the data to the public, and I see the data wrapper tool and as well as the canvas as a simple tool that can help us to communicate our data that we generate to help the work in the Parliament House.
As long as we know, statistics has been produced for a very long time, but when it comes to the usage, we often or more or less does not see the efficient use of it. But as part of this collaboration between ASEPA, we believe that with the staff now equipped on how to use the statistics, going forward we'll see a more collaborative engagement where staff of parliament can begin to have more interactive engagement with the members of parliament, to be able to assist them, to be able to extract, to be able to visualize, and to be able to use the statistics to inform policy decision making. That will go a long way in helping us as a nation.
So far, the workshop has been very fruitful. We came here with a limited knowledge in Excel, infographics, and all those things, but I can say that I'm now well equipped with formulas in Excel, how to do basic formulas, and even multiple functions in Excel to be able to convert Excel data into infographics and all those things. So I'm sure this workshop wouldn't have come at a better time than now, because the 9th Parliament has just started, and we've seen an increase in intake of data from research departments. So I believe that the work that, or the training that we've had today will go a long way to help us to be able to give members of Parliament the needed information.
The 2 days have been very interesting and exciting to see the zeal and enthusiasm of these parliamentary staff, researchers and analysts. It's been particularly exciting to see how the staff have taken the practical aspect of the workshop, have spent quite some time, trying their hands on all the tools and techniques that have been provided, and are going away with some improvement in knowledge and skills and an awareness of how they can use this to produce quality products, be it policy briefs, and research papers for MPs' use in Parliament. Their facilitation has been unique because there's been a hands-on approach where we are not just passing on the information, but in this session people have had a chance to actually practice. And with the practice, we think people have gotten some improvement. One thing we are encouraging the staff to go away and do is to continue the practice. We are asking them to produce some products which we would accompany them to improve, and finally make sure that some of these products that they will be producing in the next few months are actually used by MPs.
And from my view, I can really say indeed that these participants have been so engaging, and they've taken the exercise very seriously. And we believe that this is going to go a long way to help when it comes to the use of official statistics, in helping when it comes to developmental agendas.
And I assure you that when we get to the office, we implement all those things, and the level of information that we now give to members of Parliament will be improved.
I would say to ASEPA to continue to support Parliament in areas like this, in training the staff, building our capacity in softwares that will help us to easily communicate our data, to communicate our analysis, to help the work of Parliament.
And we hope that going forward, the capacities of Parliament and the whole notion of evidence-based decision-making, oversight and representation would have been strengthened, through this Data for Accountability project.